Have you ever wondered why so many older adults eat plenty of protein every single day and still feel weaker year after year? Some even drink protein shakes, grill chicken breast, or load up on fish and eggs, yet their muscle mass keeps slipping away. It feels unfair, doesn't it? You do what you've been told is healthy, and somehow your body refuses to cooperate. Here's a truth that may surprise you. Seniors can consume 90, 100, even 120 grams of protein each day and still lose muscle to sarcopenia. The problem is not the amount of protein. The problem is absorption. Your body can only build muscle with the protein it can actually break down and use. Without the right support in your digestive system, much of that protein simply goes to waste. Think of it this way. Imagine you bought piles of bricks and cement to build a house. You stacked them neatly in your yard, but never hired workers. Without skilled builders, those materials would just sit there, useless. Protein works the same way. It's the raw material. But you need the builders, the probiotics, and the enzymes that come from fermented foods too. Actually turn that material into strong, healthy muscle fibers. Most of us grew up with the simple advice: eat meat, eggs, and dairy, and you'll stay strong. For a while, that works. But as the years go by, the digestive system changes. The gut produces fewer enzymes. The balance of bacteria shifts. You start to notice little red flags bloating after meals. It's more frequent acid reflux, constipation, or just feeling heavy and sluggish after what used to be a normal dinner. These are all signs that your gut isn't breaking down protein efficiently anymore, which means even if you're eating the right foods, your muscles may still be starving. Let me share a story. Robert, a retired teacher in Florida, came to me frustrated. At 72, he was doing all the right things. Grilled chicken twice a day, protein shakes, and even some resistance training. Instead of just more protein, he added a cup of kefir and a bowl of Greek yogurt with live cultures to his daily routine. Within a few weeks, he noticed less bloating. His energy lifted. And 3 months later, his hand strength improved significantly, to the point where he could carry his groceries again without fear of dropping them. Nothing magical happened. He simply started absorbing what he was already eating. That's why this conversation is so important for senior wellness. Protein alone is not enough. You need the right environment inside your body to make that protein count. That means combining protein-rich foods with fermented or cultured options that support your gut health. These foods don't just feed your muscles, they heal your digestion so your body can use every bite you take. In a moment, I'll walk you through 5 powerful foods that do exactly this. They're not exotic or expensive. In fact, many of them are probably sitting quietly in the grocery store where you shop every week, and yet most seniors overlook them. By the end of this video, you'll not only know which foods to choose, but also how to build a simple daily plan that blends protein and probiotics seamlessly into your meals. And before we wrap up, I'll share a 7-day checklist so you can test these ideas for yourself and actually feel the difference.
Thanks.
So, let me ask you this. Are you really feeding your muscles, or are you just filling your plate? Stay with me, because what you're about to discover could completely change the way you think about protein, digestion, and the future of your strength. Most people think muscle loss is just a normal part of aging, but the truth is that sarcopenia, the gradual breakdown of muscle tissue, isn't inevitable. It's heavily influenced by how well your body can use the protein you eat. Protein is made up of amino acids, which your muscles need like bricks for construction. But if your digestive system can't break down and absorb those amino acids, it doesn't matter how much protein is on your plate. It's like pouring fuel into a car with a broken engine. It just leaks out without powering anything. That's where gut health becomes critical for senior health. Your intestines are lined with trillions of bacteria that act like gatekeepers, controlling how nutrients move into your bloodstream. When those bacteria are balanced, digestion runs smoothly, protein is broken down properly, and your muscles get what they need. But when they're out of balance, as often happens with age, you get the opposite. gas, bloating, reflux, constipation, and most importantly, poor nutrient absorption. Inflammation in the gut can even signal the body to break down muscle instead of building it. Now here's the good news. You can reset this balance. Certain foods deliver not just protein, but also live culture's beneficial bacteria that help restore your gut environment. And one of the most powerful yet underused is kefir. Kefir is often described as drinkable yogurt, but it's far more potent. It contains dozens of different strains of bacteria and yeast, more than almost any other fermented food. That diversity matters. Think of your gut like a garden. If you only plant one flower, the soil quickly gets depleted. But if you plant a mix of flowers, herbs, and shrubs, the soil thrives. Kefir brings that kind of diversity to your gut, helping different strains work together to support digestion. What makes kefir especially valuable for seniors is how easily its protein is absorbed. In solid foods like cheese, you may only absorb about 60 to 70% of the protein. But kefir, being liquid and partially pre-digested through fermentation, lets you absorb up to 90 to 95%. It's like upgrading your engine from leaking fuel to running efficiently again. And kefir doesn't just provide protein, it also delivers bioactive peptides that calm inflammation, magnesium to support muscle contraction and relaxation, and calcium that works alongside protein to strengthen both bones and muscles. Plus, kefir naturally produces GABA, a compound that promotes deeper sleep. Deep sleep is when your body does most of its muscle repair. So, by drinking kefir, you're not just feeding your muscles, you're also improving the very conditions that allow them to grow. Let me tell you about Mary, a 68-year-old widow who struggled with constant bloating. She ate plenty of lean meat and vegetables, but her energy was low and her balance was slipping. When she added a small glass of kefir to her breakfast every morning, she noticed a difference within weeks. Her stomach felt calmer. She no longer dreaded mealtime, and after 2 months, she told me she could climb stairs without stopping to catch her breath. Her muscles weren't suddenly larger, but they were finally being fueled properly. The easiest way to add kefir is simple. Buy plain unsweetened kefir at the grocery store. Skip the flavored versions with added sugar. Pour a cup into your morning smoothie with frozen berries and a spoonful of peanut butter. That gives you protein, probiotics, and healthy fats all at once. If you try nothing else from this video, try kefir. For many seniors, it's the single easiest step toward rebuilding muscle, restoring gut health, and improving energy. And when combined with the other foods I'll share next, it becomes part of a complete system to fight sarcopenia head-on. Tempeh may not be as familiar to most seniors as yogurt or milk, but it deserves a place on your table if you care about muscle strength and digestion. Originally from Indonesia, tempeh is made by fermenting whole soybeans into a firm, nutty cake. Unlike tofu, which is processed and relatively bland, tempeh is naturally fermented, dense in nutrients, and surprisingly versatile. And here's the shocker. For many older adults, tempeh can actually outperform meat. When it comes to supporting long-term muscle health, why? Because tempeh delivers more than protein. It's packed with fiber, probiotics from the fermentation process, and compounds called isoflavones that support both heart and bone health. Let's compare for a moment. Standard 3-ounce serving of cooked chicken breast gives you about 26 grams of protein, but almost no fiber, no probiotics, and no protective plant compounds. 3 ounces of tempeh, around 16 grams of protein, not quite as high, but still substantial, and it comes with fiber to aid digestion, probiotics to rebalance the gut, and antioxidants that calm inflammation. While chicken is like plain bricks, tempeh is like bricks that also come with insulation and wiring already built in. Your body can do more with less. Tempeh is also easier on digestion than many animal proteins. Seniors who feel heavy or sluggish after a steak often find tempeh sits more comfortably. That's because fermentation partially breaks down the soybeans, making their nutrients more accessible. Instead of straining the gut, Tempeh works with it. And because it's plant-based, it naturally contains no cholesterol and less saturated fat, which helps protect your heart, an added bonus as you get older. Take James, for example, a 72-year-old living with type 2 diabetes. He loved steak, but found it left him bloated, and his blood sugar would often spike after large meat-heavy meals. Reluctantly, he agreed to try swapping half his weekly meat portions for Tempeh. At first, he was skeptical. He thought it looked strange. But once he tried it stir-fried with vegetables and soy sauce, he admitted it tasted surprisingly good. Within 3 months, his digestion was smoother, his blood sugar was more stable, and his doctor noted his leg strength had improved. He didn't have to give up meat completely. He just found balance by letting Tempeh share the spotlight. The key with Tempeh is not to think of it as a meat substitute, but as a powerful protein option in its own right. By rotating it into your meals, you give your gut the probiotics and fiber it craves, while also giving your muscles steady protein to fight sarcopenia. And because it's plant-based, it provides a healthy balance for days when you don't feel like eating heavy animal protein. For senior wellness, variety is protection. Your muscles, bones, heart, and digestion all work together. Tempeh supports each of them at once, which makes it far more than just an alternative protein. It's a tool, one that many seniors in America have never tried, but once they do, they wonder how they lived without it. Greek yogurt is one of the simplest and most powerful foods you can add to your daily routine. It looks familiar, just a cup of thick, creamy yogurt, but if you choose the right kind, it can become a secret weapon against muscle loss. The key is to look for the label that says live and active cultures. That means the yogurt hasn't been heat-treated after fermentation, so the beneficial bacteria are still alive and ready to support your gut. Why does Greek yogurt matter so much for muscle? First, it's loaded with protein, especially leucine, which is the amino acid most directly linked to muscle building. Your muscles need leucine as a trigger to start the repair process after activity. A single cup of Greek yogurt can have 15 to 20 grams of protein, with enough leucine to flip that muscle switch. Second, the thick texture of Greek yogurt means it digests a bit more slowly than kefir. It's actually a good thing. It provides a steady release of amino acids over a couple of hours, which is perfect for keeping your muscles supplied throughout the morning or afternoon. Think of it as a time-release capsule for your strength. But there's more to the story. Because Greek yogurt is cultured, it contains probiotics that improve digestion and reduce inflammation. Seniors who struggle with acid reflux often find Greek yogurt soothing, especially when eaten plain or with a drizzle of honey. Those probiotics help balance gut bacteria so the protein you eat isn't wasted. In other words, Greek yogurt doesn't just bring protein, makes other proteins you eat more effective too. Let me share a quick story. A married couple in their late 60s, Tom and Susan, both wanted to stay active for their grandchildren. Tom was a retired firefighter, still strong, but starting to notice weakness in his grip. Susan loved gardening, but kneeling left her sore and stiff. They made one small change. Every morning, instead of toast with jam, they each had a bowl of Greek yogurt topped with fruit and nuts. Within 2 months, Tom said he could carry bags of mulch without straining. And Susan noticed her knees felt steadier after a long day in the garden. They didn't change much else. They just gave their bodies a reliable, gut-friendly protein source each morning. So, how can you make Greek yogurt part of your day without getting bored? Start with the classic parfait. 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt, a handful of blueberries, and a sprinkle of walnuts. It's about 20 grams of protein, fiber, and healthy fats all in one. If you like savory foods, Greek yogurt is incredibly versatile. Mix it with lemon juice, dill, and a little olive oil, and you've got a creamy dip for grilled chicken or salmon. You can even use it as a replacement for sour cream on baked potatoes or in salad dressings. One important note, avoid the flavored yogurts packed with added sugar. Those cancel out many of the benefits and can lead to energy crashes. If you need a little sweetness, add fresh fruit or a drizzle of honey yourself. That way you control how much sugar goes in. Greek yogurt is also a great option for seniors who sometimes struggle with appetite. It's soft, easy to chew, and gentle on the stomach. When it comes to senior wellness, small daily habits make the biggest difference. Greek yogurt is one of those habits. It's accessible, affordable, and packs more benefits than most people realize. If kefir is like a turbocharged liquid fuel, Greek yogurt is the steady foundation of reliable. It's a powerful protein source that supports both your muscles and your gut every single day. Cottage cheese may not sound exciting. In fact, many people remember it as a bland diet food from the 1980s, but don't let its reputation fool you. For seniors who want to protect muscle and improve digestion, cottage cheese, especially the kind made with live cultures, is one of the smartest foods you can add to your day. Think of it as a night shift worker for your muscles. Slow, steady, and reliable. Here's why it matters. Cottage cheese is naturally high in casein protein. Unlike whey protein, which digests quickly, casein digests slowly, releasing amino acids into your bloodstream over several hours. That's exactly what your body needs at night, when you go the longest without eating. Many experts believe the best time to eat cottage cheese is in the evening, because it fuels your muscles while you sleep, when most of the repair and rebuilding happens. But there's a twist. Not all cottage cheese is created equal. The versions with live and active cultures offer double benefits. Along with steady protein, they provide probiotics to support your gut. That means you don't just get protein lingering in your system, you'll actually absorb more of it. And since many seniors experience bloating or reflux after heavier dairy foods, cultured cottage cheese is usually gentler on digestion. Let's compare numbers. A half-cup serving of cottage cheese provides around 14 grams of protein. That may not sound huge, but if you eat it before bed, it acts like a slow-release drip of amino acids through the night. Pair that with its probiotics, and you've got a simple food that keeps working long after you've turned out the lights. Take Harold, a 75-year-old grandfather who struggled with restless nights. He'd wake up stiff and tired, even though he was eating plenty of chicken and eggs during the day. His daughter suggested he try a small bowl of cottage cheese with cinnamon before bed. At first, he thought it was a strange idea, but after a few weeks, he noticed something remarkable. He wasn't waking up as sore in the morning, and his nighttime trips to the fridge for snacks stopped. The steady protein gave his body what it needed, and the probiotics soothed his digestion. His sleep improved, and so did his energy. So how can you use cottage cheese in ways that don't feel boring? One of the easiest is cottage cheese toast. Spread it on a slice of whole grain bread. Add cucumber slices and a sprinkle of everything bagel seasoning, and you've got a protein-packed snack in minutes. Another option is to make it savory. Mix cottage cheese with cherry tomatoes, a dash of olive oil, and cracked black pepper for a refreshing lunch. Or go sweet. Stir in a few berries and a pinch of cinnamon for a bedtime treat that tastes more like dessert than health food. Here's a tip. If you're not used to the texture, start by blending cottage cheese in a food processor. It turns into a creamy base you can use in smoothies, dips, or even pancake batter. That way you get all the benefits without the curds if they bother you. For seniors, the biggest challenge isn't always eating enough protein, it's spreading that protein across the day in ways the body can use. Cottage cheese with live cultures is perfect for filling that gap, especially in the evening hours when muscles are most ready to repair. Senior wellness isn't about chasing the newest superfood. It's about finding simple, practical habits that fit into real life. Cottage cheese is affordable, available at almost every grocery store, and requires no cooking at all. Spoon, a small bowl, and you're set. Add it to your nightly routine, and you may be surprised at how much stronger and more energized you feel over time. Sour cream is usually thought of as a topping for baked potatoes or taco snot, exactly a muscle food. But when it's cultured the traditional way, sour cream or its richer cousin, for each becomes much more than a garnish. It's not the protein powerhouse that Greek yogurt or cottage cheese is. But it plays a unique role in helping seniors absorb and use the protein they already eat. Think of it as a booster, the little spark plug that makes the engine run more smoothly. Here's what makes cultured sour cream different. Regular dairy products give you protein, but the fermentation process in sour cream adds probiotics and natural enzymes. Those enzymes don't just sit there, they actively help your body digest other proteins more efficiently. In other words, a spoonful of cultured sour cream on your salmon or chicken isn't just flavor, it's helping your gut pull more nutrition from the meal. Sour cream also brings something seniors often overlook: healthy fats that carry fat-soluble vitamins. Vitamins A, D, and K2 all play a role in muscle and bone health. Without some fat in your meal, these vitamins don't get absorbed well. Cultured sour cream delivers just enough fat in a form that's easier to digest than heavy creams or oils to ensure those nutrients make it into your system. And there's another hidden benefit. Traditional sour cream contains peptides and a surprising amount of leucine compared to its calorie content. Leucine, as we've already talked about, is the on switch for muscle building. So even though you're not eating a big bowl of it, the small amount you do eat can give your muscles a nudge in the right direction. Take Linda, for example. At 69, she didn't enjoy milk or yogurt. She said they upset her stomach. It made it hard for her to get enough probiotics in her diet. But she loved creamy sauces. So she started adding a spoonful of cultured freach to her soups and mixing it into mashed potatoes. Within weeks, she noticed she wasn't as bloated after meals. And over time, she actually regained her appetite, which had been fading. With better digestion, she started eating more consistently, and that meant more protein and energy for her muscles. Sometimes the smallest changes open the biggest doors. So how do you use sour cream in a way that supports muscle health instead of just adding empty calories? The trick is pairing it with protein-rich foods and vegetables. For example, instead of butter on your baked potato, try a dollop of sour cream with a sprinkle of chopped salmon or tuna. Or make a creamy dressing. Blend sour cream with Greek yogurt, lemon juice, and dill, then drizzle it over grilled chicken or roasted vegetables. Even mixing a spoonful into scrambled eggs adds flavor and probiotics without much effort. The key is moderation. You don't need half a cup. Just a couple of spoonfuls are enough to make protein meals more satisfying, easier to digest, and more beneficial for your gut. Always choose products labeled as cultured and, if possible, look for brands that specify live cultures on the label. That's where the real benefit lies. For seniors, eating should be enjoyable, not a chore. Cultured sour cream fits perfectly into that philosophy. It makes meals taste better, encourages you to eat a little more protein, and quietly supports your gut in the process. That combination may not sound flashy, but it's practical and powerful. Senior wellness isn't about dramatic diets or exotic foods. Sometimes it's about recognizing the quiet helpers, the foods that don't just feed you, but make everything else you eat work harder for you. Cultured sour cream and fraiche may not win the spotlight, but they deserve a steady place in your kitchen. One of the biggest mistakes many older adults make with protein isn't just what they eat, it's when they eat it. A lot of seniors load most of their protein into dinner with very little at breakfast or lunch. That pattern leaves your muscles underfueled during the day and then overwhelmed at night when your digestion slows down. The truth is, your body can only use so much protein at once. For senior health, it's far more effective to spread protein evenly across all your meals and even your snacks. Think of it like watering a garden. If you dump a whole bucket of water at once, most of it runs off and goes to waste. But if you water the plants a little at a time, steadily, the soil absorbs it better and the plants grow stronger. Your muscles work the same way with protein. Steady, balanced intake throughout the day helps your body absorb and use it more effectively. So how does that look in real life? Let's map out a simple one-day plan that combines the 5 fermented protein foods we've discussed. Start with breakfast. Many people grab toast, cereal, or just coffee in the morning, but that leaves your muscles running on fumes. Instead, try a Greek yogurt parfait. 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt with fresh blueberries and a handful of walnuts gives you 20 grams of protein. Probiotics for your gut and healthy fats for energy. It takes less than 5 minutes to prepare, and it actually keeps you full until lunch. For lunch, tempeh makes a fantastic centerpiece. Slice and roast tempeh with olive oil and garlic, then toss it into a bowl with quinoa, broccoli, and a splash of soy sauce. That gives you about 25 grams of protein, plus fiber and probiotics to keep digestion moving. If you're not ready to cook tempeh, you can crumble it into a stir-fry with vegetables for a simple, hearty meal. In the afternoon, instead of reaching for cookies or chips, grab a small kefir smoothie. Blend 1 cup of plain kefir with half a banana and a spoonful of peanut butter. This quick snack delivers another 15 grams of protein, along with probiotics and healthy fats. It's light but satisfying, and it supports steady energy as the day goes on. For dinner, you don't have to give up your favorite meals. The key is pairing them wisely. A piece of grilled salmon or chicken breast served with roasted vegetables and a creamy sauce made from cultured sour cream and herbs is both delicious and effective. That plate gives you another 30 grams of protein, and the sour cream helps your gut make the most of it. Dinner's a great time to enjoy richer flavors, and adding cultured cream makes the meal more enjoyable while supporting your digestion. Finally, before bed, give your muscles a night shift worker. Cottage cheese. A half cup of cottage cheese with a sprinkle of cinnamon and a few berries delivers 14 grams of slow-digesting protein that fuels your muscles all night long. It also prevents those late-night hunger pangs that might otherwise send you to the kitchen for less healthy snacks. When you put all of this together, you're hitting 90 to 100 grams of protein across the day, perfectly spaced, easy to digest, and supported by probiotics. You don't need fancy supplements or complicated recipes. Just everyday foods, combined in a smart order, can dramatically improve how your body feels and functions. The beauty of this approach is that it's flexible. Don't like fish? Swap in chicken or even tempeh for dinner? Don't care for cottage cheese? Have an extra serving of Greek yogurt at night? The principle is the same. Spread your protein, combine it with fermented foods, and let your gut and muscles work together instead of against each other. When seniors follow this rhythm, the results often come faster than expected. Better energy during the day, fewer digestive issues, stronger grip, and even steadier balance. And it doesn't feel like a diet. It feels like eating real food at the right times, in the right way. Even the best foods can lose their power if they're paired with the wrong habits. Many seniors work hard to eat enough protein, even adding fermented foods like yogurt or kefir, but still don't see results. The reason often comes down to 3 common mistakes that quietly sabotage muscle health. The good news: each one has a simple fix. The first mistake is combining probiotic-rich foods with too much sugar. Picture this: you're having a bowl of Greek yogurt, which is great for your muscles and your gut. But then you top it with a big scoop of ice cream, or cover it in sugary granola. Suddenly, that healthy meal works against you. Sugar floods the bloodstream, forcing your body to focus on managing blood glucose, instead of using amino acids to build muscle. On top of that, excess sugar feeds the harmful bacteria in your gut, crowding out the good bacteria you're trying to support with probiotics. The fix is simple: sweeten naturally. Add fresh fruit, a drizzle of honey, or a sprinkle of cinnamon. These give you flavor and satisfaction without overwhelming your system. The second mistake is leaning on processed meats for quick protein. Hot dogs, deli slices, and some sausages may seem convenient, but they come loaded with sodium and preservatives that interfere with protein absorption. High sodium literally dehydrates muscle cells, making it harder for them to take in the amino acids they need. Preservatives can disrupt gut bacteria, undoing the benefits of your kefir or cultured dairy. Instead of processed meats, choose simple proteins like rotisserie chicken, canned salmon, or even beans and lentils. If you want something quick, keep hard-boiled eggs in your fridge. They're fast, affordable, and work beautifully alongside fermented foods. The third mistake is relying on imitation spreads instead of real, wholesome fats. Margarine, for example, was marketed for decades as a healthy alternative to butter, but many versions contain trans fats and hydrogenated oils. These fats fuel inflammation, which not only harms your heart, but also accelerates muscle breakdown. Worse, they interfere with the beneficial bacteria from fermented foods, leaving your gut less resilient. The smarter choice is to use a small amount of real butter, olive oil, or avocado. These provide the fats your body needs to absorb vitamins like D and K nutrients that directly support muscle and bone health. Let me share a story. 82 was eating sour cream and cottage cheese regularly, hoping to maintain her strength. But she kept spreading margarine on her toast with every meal. She felt frustrated because she wasn't getting stronger. Once she switched from margarine to olive oil and real butter, her digestion improved, and within weeks, she noticed more energy during her walks. It wasn't about adding more protein. It was about removing what blocked her body from using the protein she already had. When you think about it, these mistakes all have one thing in common. They create conflict inside the body. Sugar spikes, chemical preservatives, and artificial fats send mixed signals. While your muscles are quietly asking for steady fuel and balance, by removing the conflict, you allow your food to do its job. So the lesson is clear. Fermented protein foods are powerful, but only if you give them the right environment. Pair them with natural, whole ingredients. Avoid the processed traps, and your muscles will finally get a chance to thrive. Small changes like swapping ice cream for berries, hot dogs for chicken, or margarine for olive oil seem minor, but together they can completely shift the way your body handles protein. And that shift can mean the difference between losing muscle year after year and holding on to the strength that keeps you independent. If there's one truth I want you to carry away from this conversation, it's this. Protein is not enough by itself. Protein is the building block, but your gut is the construction crew. Without a healthy gut environment, the best materials in the world won't turn into strong, lasting muscle. That's why fermented live culture foods are so valuable for senior wellness. They don't just add nutrients, they make every other nutrient more effective. Muscle health isn't about vanity or looking younger. It's about independence. It's about being able to lift your groceries, climb stairs, play with your grandchildren, and wake up without fear of falling. Losing muscle isn't just an inconvenience, it's one of the biggest threats to quality of life as we age. But here's the hopeful message. You're not powerless. Every bite you take can either speed up muscle loss or help fight it. By making small, consistent choices, you can protect your strength, your confidence, and your freedom. I think of Eleanor, an 80-year-old woman who came to one of my workshops. She had stopped walking outside alone because she was afraid of losing her balance. She wasn't underweight, she ate 3 meals a day, but she admitted they were mostly toast, soup, and pasta. We encouraged her to add just 2 changes: a small Kefir smoothie in the morning and cottage cheese with fruit before bed. Alongside a few simple chair exercises, her body began to change. 6 months later, she told me she could walk around her block again without fear. She said, "I didn't think food could give me back my freedom, but it did." That's the deeper lesson. It's not about chasing the newest diet trend or buying expensive supplements. It's about choosing foods that truly work with your body, especially as it changes with age. It's about creating an environment where every gram of protein counts. When you do that, you don't just fight sarcopenia, you build a foundation for living fully, at any age. To make it simple, here's a short checklist you can follow starting this week. Add at least 1 fermented protein food every day. Kefir, Tempeh, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or cultured sour cream. Pick your favorite and make it a habit. Add Spread your protein across the day. Aim for 20 to 30 grams at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, plus a smaller snack in between. Pair protein with plants. Add vegetables, beans, or fruit to your meals. The fiber feeds your gut bacteria and helps you absorb more nutrients. Avoid the common traps. Skip the ice cream add-ons, processed meats, and margarine. Replace them with berries, lean proteins, and healthy fats like olive oil. Support the process with movement and rest. Gentle strength exercises and 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night multiply the benefits of your food. It doesn't have to be perfect. Even one small change like swapping your sugary snack for a kefir smoothie or having Greek yogurt for breakfast can start moving you in the right direction. Over time, those small changes add up to stronger muscles, steadier balance, and a healthier, more confident life. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 fermented protein foods feels easiest for you to try this week? Have you ever added kefir, tempeh, or cultured dairy to your meals, and did you notice a difference in your digestion or energy? Share your experiences in the comments. Your story might inspire another senior who feels stuck or discouraged. Remember, this is not just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. Your muscles are one of your greatest allies in that journey. Take care of them, and they'll take care of you.